Welcome back to Pineleaf Plays the Rune-keeper. And first, let's turn in this thing, the Dead Spire.
Hello there.
What? Fell creatures attacked you as you tried to gather these stones? I had not seen them. The guides kept us well shielded from whatever it was that was attacking them. I am glad that you fared as well, friend. Well, these runes reveal nothing new. Each stone gives a bit of an account of the man who was buried there. There's nothing to reveal why the terrible creatures have taken up in those barrows. That is quite a mystery.
Greetings, friend.
I'm relieved you have returned. I was worried I'd sent you to your death. Now, let me have a look at these fragments that you brought back. These parchments are troubling. They appear to be written by men of Cardolan. They speak of the kingdom falling into ruin, and those that remain falling victim to a great plague. But that is all. This doesn't answer, though, why such fell creatures came to the Barrow Downs. I fear these fragments have only yielded more questions and few answers.
Would you do something for me?
It seems that this may not be the first time that such terror has plagued these lands. The bits of parchment you recovered led me to believe that two brothers fought to recover a great treasure of Cardolan, and brought it here to the northern Barrow Downs. The lore fragments you brought me mentioned the fortress named Gondthon. The men of Cardolan took many of those who fell sick to the plague there. The ruins of that fortress still stand today in the south. It is from here that a terror rose and cursed the brothers for their theft. If you are willing, you may seek the treasure and the history of the treasure of the northern Barrow, not far from here to the east. Perhaps you can learn more about these men. Alright. And that takes care of that. And now, that is actually good because it so happens that the treasure I need here is in the same location as the third barrow I need to check. How serendipitous. And I forgot to check this in the previous episode, so I might as well remember that now. Ooh. I got some mathams. Oh, and some good mathams, too. So this not only helps with the... Now, the Cardolan trinkets, they're the higher end ones. They're not useful for quests or anything like that, but they're great for rep. So I just completed Friend of Bree. Now, I'd like to get it to at least Ally so I can get the access to the rep vendor. Now there are advantages though of getting kindred. For example, there's the port. Actually, the port is probably the main advantage, I would say, of getting kindred rep with these people. Because if I do get because that way I can have more places I could travel to in selections, and it's a nice hub in which I could go to. Can't wait until I get that third finisher. Alright, here's the chest I need for that quest. So I got the ancient journal, and this is the entrance to the dungeon I need. And I know that there is a third one here. Look. Okay, it's not exactly like the other one we were in. But I think that this is one with the spider boss in it. And lots of hands. Oh, right. There we go. And that's my last one I need. Oh, he must have been following me around. I thought I looked like I was in combat for a moment. Right, now I am going to check to see if I can find the boss. So I can complete that quest too. Yeah, there are spiders in here. I think there are a total of 6 of these dungeons scattered all around the Barrow Downs. Some of them entered in the north, some in the south. There used to be one big rep dungeon, and they got split up. I don't think there's not really a great need for me to do this room, since this is not the spider boss room, but getting extra mathoms and trinkets certainly doesn't help. Now, originally you had to turn in the mathoms into the Shire in order to get the rep, which logically should be how it works. It's one of those cases where they made a decision that is more useful on the side of helping making it easier on the player than on sheer logic. Since now maybe with the trinkets they might hear about you gathering them and get your rep that way, but let's face it, the Matham Society, they are gathering Matham, so wouldn't turning them in be the way in which to get your rep? But if you're not a hobbit, then yes, it's decidedly inconvenient to get to the Shire until you... Actually, I was about to say until you get Kindred, but of course, you don't get... There isn't a rep port for the Shire. So, well, that one's not there. Where are the bosses? Maybe the bosses just aren't in today. Ah, yes, when the boss away, the whites can play. Let's see now. No, that's the entrance. I guess I have been all over the place. Right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think I've been to all the places. And no spider boss. And none of the other bosses either. Usually at least one of the bosses is active. But I guess not. Must... Oh. Surprise! Though I suppose it is possible that the active bosses are all in another one of the dungeons I haven't been in yet. Let's see. Just one more check here, just in case, but I think that usually just has hands in it. Right, now we can go back and turn these in. Then we can go to Bree and turn those in. Actually, maybe we should go to Dead Man's Perch first, so at least activate that round. And there is actually one more quest in this area. But I'm not going to go into the Southern Downs today, at least not until I go to Dead Man's Perch. So let us turn in part 2 of this. Here you go, the treasures.
Hello there.
Ah, you found something! Many of the pages are missing, but perhaps I can glean something from which remains. Ah, this is almost too terrible to read. The author, a man of Cardolan, tells how these few of Cardolan who remained died of a great plague borne along the dark clouds from the east. Soon after, fell spirits swept down from the north. The man writes of tormenting dreams that followed, dreams of a place called Angmar. Soon after, the dead walked in the land once more. In the last entry, the man writes that he fears that he too will succumb to the plague, but that his body will never know rest. How I wish I had remained ignorant of these cursed lands. Yet, now I find I must know more. If you ever find more pages of this journal, bring them to me. Perhaps in this knowledge, a defense against the fell spirits can be learned. And, let's see. Might? Light armor? Might? And this is for... yeah, right.
Will you give me a moment of your time, friend?
Actually, he gives me the collecting history one. To collect ancient chalices in the Barrow Downs. Greetings again! I have been studying the materials you brought me from the Barrow Downs, and I have learned much more since we last spoke. That was about 10 seconds ago. I would ask one last favor of you. This journal that you found for me contains a vast amount of knowledge. Through it I have learned that the men of Cardolan buried many relics with their dead. It may be that some of these things may be of help in to defend against such creatures as the Barrow Wights. The journal speaks of chalices that were buried in the great barrow itself. I wonder if you could go to these and gather some for me. I am sure that there were many of them deep inside the catacombs of the Great Barrow. Now, that of course requires me to go to the Great Barrow. So level 23 quest actually can be done at 20, but it is still full fellowship. And no, they are not joking about that. It is an instance.
How can I be of service?
That I will not be doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hide it that way, just in case I run into a group that does the Great Barrow. I can take care of these then, already known. Let me get some more Mathams here. So how am I doing with my reputation? I know I just only recently got friend, but I'm already at 4,600. That's not too bad. And I can sell the rest. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Did I just...
Hello there.
Ah!
How can I be of
That
service?
was bad. That is under the things you should... Oh. Oh, good grief. That was horrible. And of course it was at the top of my queue of things to sell. Selling that is the worst thing I could possibly have done. Simply because A, I no longer have that quest completed. Well, that one's not a daily. And 2, I can't click it for my rep. So that's really going to make my rep take longer to complete. So now I'm going to go to Dead Man's Perch. And I will have to do another set of dailies just to get back in. And that's why you should always pay attention. Oh, I know, because I got the coins in the Hobbit present, and the trinkets look exactly like coins. There we go. Since they look exactly like coins, of course, that didn't register me. I should have immediately locked them. Now, of course, I can try going to the auction house and buying some there. Let's see, actually, I think it's up this way. So in a pinch I can get some from the auction house, but we shall see. I'll probably have to return anyway for another round of dailies.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Oh, what a fine, strong person you are. You remind me of my poor sons. They've been gone for some time now, and I've heard nary a word from them. You see, it started with my son Malin. He was sure there were treasures out here in the Barrow Downs for the taking, and left seeking his fortune. After a few days passed, and he didn't come back, I sent his brother Amlak out after him, and I've not heard from him either. Now I've ventured here in these others after my son. Amlak said he'd camp at Dead Man's Perch on the eastern cliffs, but he was not here when I arrived. The others here think he's gone further south. Can you look for him? In other words, Amlak is more easily lost than I am.
What can I do for you?
The others live? That news fills me with hope. Now we must focus our efforts on helping these folk and seeking what we too can escape from this accursed place. Very well. And she also has several bounties: white skulls, Cardolan relics, and barghast eyes. And these are for the southern Barrow Downs.
Would you do something for me?
So out of these, collect these, and they of course are also bounty quests, so I can do 3 of those.
Might I take a moment of your time?
But I might as well do those when I get into the southern Barrow Downs. And he has a ton of quests here.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Well, the first one is Purging the Dead, which is another Great Barrow quest, so if I ever go into the Great Barrow,
Might I
that
take a moment
come
of
in
your
handy
time?
there. At the edge of the old forest, south through the Barrow Downs, there are many bears suffering from a terrible plague. The only way I can see to save them from their agony is to destroy them and ensure that they will not spread their plague into the remainder of the old forest. You will find the bears, the plague carriers, to the south. Now, that's 20. Right, that's 20. The missing son is 20. Alright, this is 21, so I'll do the others first, and maybe if he's all...
Would you do something for me?
It looks like this is the transition point to level 21 quests. So I will probably turn on the tracker, not this episode, but when I start the next series of quests, I will turn on that stuff. Unfortunate Harvest, this is Kill Corrupted Trees. I'm not going to give you the entire story for that. Just say where the bears are, there are also some trees that need to be taken care of. And finally,
Would you do something for me?
the corrupted trees must be purged out of the southern Barrow Downs, but they may yet return to natural fold. To determine this, I need to look at the seeds, so collect some seeds while I'm out there. So, but that's way, way, way at the end of the line. But for now, I am going to pop over to Bree and turn in at least what daily quests I can. Not the treasures, obviously, because Mr. Easily Lost went and sold them. But I can at least get my daily experience from today, and that way I can... Oh, wait. I'll have to pick them up tomorrow, or when I film the next episode. and be able to at least get additional rep for that section. Alright, here we go. Turn these in.
How can I be of service?
Thank you for bringing me these Barrow shards from the depths of the Downs. Hopefully I will be able to collect quite a number of these and perhaps reconstruct them. So he even gives you a hint that he'll be... Now he does give you 10 Barrow treasures as a reward. So I managed to complete this one anyway.
What do you need?
You have done it! Look here! Pinestone wasn't scared to go up into those old hills. Ha! Don't mind the other hunters. They are just superstitious fools. They think that the Barrow Downs are haunted. Can you believe it? You don't want to know. Haunted, yes. Like whites popping up and attacking you.
Greetings.
Thank you kindly for preserving this knowledge. So you get 700 rep plus some treasures that you can use for purchasing things. Thank you for kindly for preserving this knowledge. I will take me some time to translate the text. Yes, I can finish that. But the reason why... Oh, yes, of course. Lock it! And the reason why I want to lock it is
What do you need?
because he does give you some things in return for them. So the thing that I'll mainly be wanting is this return debris, which is kindred plus 100 of these treasures. So I've got 10 right now. So next time I will start up right here where I will pick up the following day's quest from him. And then I can go back to the southern Barrow Downs and maybe into the dungeons there and complete a few more quests. But that is for later. So I'll see you then for Pine Leaf Plays, the Rune-keeper.